critical times for Bitcoin as we get into this amazing pump here, $106,000. Did you get wrecked? Did you counter trade the lifer? I called the long during the Fed meeting. Did you play yourself? Did you make gains? Find out today here on the live stream. We're going to break it down for you every single day here on the live stream. We don't miss a day, baby. We don't miss a day. God bless each and every one of you for coming on in. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let me get my tie on. Let me get my face washed. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I was sitting counting my money. My bad. Critical moments here in Bitcoin. Up or down, wrecked, pumped or dumb. Now you were scared. No, you were scared. No. You were scared. You were scared. I ain't never scared.
The foundation of stability.
Here's a possible trade right here.
Think creatively.
Here's a possible trade right here on the mix here. Just while you're waiting, I'm seeing this flag could pump to 106,971. It's about to get pretty crazy here. I would look for this to pump. Pay attention now. All right? Pay attention. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. $106,000 Bitcoin. I called along last night for the trading group. We woke up in massive gains. I made mad gains last night while we were trading. It's time to talk about it. It's time to get paid. It's time to be with the lifers. I just gave you a live trade right now as the market started to rip. I said, watch this flag on the 1 minute time frame. Redrew it. This thing popped from 105,800 all the way to 106,420. I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I could make some gains on a move like that for Bitcoin. Strategic reserves, states buying it up. Everyone thinking, hey, if I don't have enough Bitcoin, then what? I kept telling you, nation states were going to be buying Bitcoin, freaking out. Everyone in their mama was going to wish they had a little more Satoshis in their pockets. I'm telling you right now, if you don't, people think because it's been around for so long that it's too late. But what they don't realize is it's right now. It's right now in front of you. It's telling you what's about to happen right now. Let me get this. I got my stuff all over the place, but that is also an ascending triangle that could break down, right? Either way, but watch that 50-50 pattern right here by the book, right? If you play it, you're playing 50-50. See, what people don't realize is once you become a trader of risk, you understand that every time, like I might make 10 trades where the pattern is a 70 out of 10. I make 3 trades where it's a 50-50. If I've won a bunch of 7 out of 10 trades, then I'll take a 50-50 trade. Understand, like, people don't understand these concepts. They don't realize, like, you have to trade long term to even understand what I'm doing, is what I'm saying. Like, even when you come here, you're taking a piece of my data set. And you could even criticize me on a data set, but it's only a piece of my data. You haven't seen it all. Like, you haven't been around long enough to know, right? Amen. But shout out to all the lovers of life here. Shout out to everybody out here. Today is God's day. I don't know what it was. The sun was shining on me. We got our outdoor kitchen delivered today. Our good friend Enver, who's an amazing contractor. If you ever need any work out here, my man Enver, I'll give you his number on the low. I mean, everyone wants him right now. But the fact, and they came the next day. They're out there removing the stones. They're gonna run the water. I'm gonna have a nice working sink right there. Unbelievable, right? I mean, who am me, man? Outdoor kitchen. Sam Price, the little kid from Boston, bro. My dad was an iron worker. My mom was a school teacher, man. All we had was a barbecue. We ain't ever had no outdoor kitchen. I'll tell you one thing about me, if you don't care, but you want to see the charts. But one thing about me is I didn't have a garbage disposal, man, until this year. I didn't even know. I never had one. I never had one. I always had to take my food and just put it into the thing. And once I got the plate, and I just, I was like, you ever watch the movie? I think it's called Estonia, or it's when like Brendan Fraser comes back from being cryogenically frozen as a Cro-Magnon man with Pauly Shore. And anyway, he's like freaking out. Like, that's how I was when I started using a garbage disposal. Like, that's how like basic I grew up, man. I had my first garbage disposal last year. I'm 40 years old. Like, I went 40 years of my life. I never had one. Like, this dude's broke. Other people are like, yo, me too, man. Never had one. So anyway, Bitcoin looks bullish to me in this little flag here. Something's brewing here for Bitcoin. And you can see that there's a demand for it around the world. People are freaking out. And they all know that they didn't buy enough BTC. They just didn't. And so there's that feeling of lack, that feeling of loss, that feeling of want, that feeling of FOMO. The feeling people feel when they feel like they have to have more, but they just can't get it yet. And that's that feeling for Bitcoin right now for a lot of people. There is a bearish div here. I'll be careful chasing. I am not in a trade right now. I'm thinking of getting in. I'm getting itchy because I sold it about 105.4 and we pumped a little bit. I sold early a little bit. I did, but I'm super happy with the gains. If you were in the trading group last night, I just started looking at the charts and I could see, man, there's going to be a pump tonight. The way I saw it, it was obvious to me. Once we had that flag break out while we were on Jerome Powell last night, I did a stream watching Jer Powell, right? But I was able to see that we were starting to make this ascending triangle here. So let me show you what was happening. I could see this inverted head and shoulder. I jumped into these flags. We started to rip at about 104,000. Even earlier, we were looking at it at 103K. But, you know, this flag looked like it was likely going to pump to me. Things just started to kind of show signs of movement. All right. I went over Bitcoin dominance in depth and discussing some things too with the trading group. I break down why we're looking at certain concepts and what's going on. Anyway, I've been up since, 6, 7, and 8 in the morning grinding, and bang, bang, bang. And there's just one of the many trades right there. I woke up this morning in gains. Super awesome. Anyway, so And then I was watching this flag. Next thing you know, we did hit the 21. I had to be outside with a plumber. We got a pump to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. But so here we are with BTC. All right, and now I'm watching this flag here. This is real time. I don't know what's going to happen to Bitcoin. We're playing chess together right now. The AI chess player or the market maker, whatever we want to call it, is playing chess against this. They're attempting to make us broke, make us depressed, take our money, and make us leave the market. We're attempting to put our money in and leave with more. Okay? We have to have back-tested ideas and strategies that are able to... What is the weakness that I have that the machine doesn't? What is the weakness I have the machine doesn't? Anybody out there? What is the weakness I have the machine doesn't? Anyone out there? I'm waiting for the comment here. You guys are 5 seconds delayed. I wonder if I can get that all the way. Top is not... Yeah, exactly. Emotions, human emotions, 100% our emotions, okay? So how can we fight the bot? How can we stop these bots, these algorithmic moves from taking our money? We can't use those, can we? No. Why? Because they don't. So we must find a way to extrapolate our emotions from the situation. How do we do that? By backtesting the data for years. At one point, the logic will be so strong, so much stronger than your emotions, you will never listen to your emotions again. They will still try to get in the way, no matter how much you know. I know so much. I've been trading for years. My emotions still attempt to derail me. They still attempt to tell me to buy at the top. They still try to make me panic sell, and I have to say, no, like, I go for walks. I work out. There's ways to, get around this behavior. You got to work at it. All right. I've been in it for a long time. You get better. It's just like you ever see someone who's never been on a boat before. They're all over the place, right? You ever see a seaman? He can sit there and he can literally cut things on a knife while the boat's flicking around. He's like, he knows exactly how the boat, even unexpected moves somehow he expects. He's so into the unexpected, he can expect it all. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens to trading. You're in this mode. And I'm a sailor. I was on boats for years. The oceans and the waves moved me. Did the ocean and the waves move you? We're playing oceans and waves right here at Bitcoin. Now, I got two ideas here, but what's the main idea I want you to focus on? It's the bearish divergence on the 1 minute time frame. Swing low to a swing high, uptrend. Swing low to a swing low, downtrend. These do not match. What does that tell you? You're going to go further to the downside. I have a trend line here. What don't you not want to do? You don't want to break a trend. Trend lines are not flat. Once the trend lines are about 45 and trend lines go from here to about here. And what I'm saying is that once a trend line starts to open up, you're either in some type of bullish engulfing candle. And look at that, man. Who would come in and talk about the sailing waters, but barefoot sailing adventures? Because he knows exactly what it's like to go against the wind sometimes, man. Well, you can't really go against it, but to go with the wind. But he probably had to turn into the wind sometimes to get into a line, get something. But you go into irons when things are a little messy. You put your boat into what's called irons. All right, that's when you go against the wind completely and the wind just goes across your bow and you have a moment to try to figure some things out. That's kind of sometimes the price action's going sideways. We're not sure. We're in irons, okay? There's many similarities between sailing and trading, between surfing and trading, between the waves. We call them waves, don't we? Elliott waves. What is a wave? A wave comes from the water. We call it liquidity, isn't it? Isn't liquidity from water? All these things. We say flow, deal flow, market flow. What are you talking about? Look at all these similarities between how we look at water and the movement and the flow of water and how we look at liquidity and money. The money flow, right? What is the money flow? What are we talking about here? So these are just some ideas. Let's break down Bitcoin on the large to small, but I still see some bullish signs here on the smaller time frames, just not giving up just yet here on BTC. Is a bearish divvy though. Let's quickly run this up from the weekly all the way back. Our monthly candle close will be tomorrow night, Friday night. I will be live at one point, probably around 8. It's usually a quick one, 8 to 8:40, something like that. I'll probably say that, and then I'll go for 3 hours. But shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Shout out to the new people who have just come in from the YouTube Discovery and YouTube and Google. Thank you so much. I get so many views from YouTube and Google. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I worked so hard. I guess you eventually began to search, send me out there. But thank you. I am so blessed. So look at today. We're looking at the weekly breaking out of a flag. It tells me we're going to 135. Let me be really exact. I kind of throw this up. I go from wick, really all the way to wick on the first run, and all the way to that wick on that's really your next leg. That's your next leg, and you're beginning it. You're right here. You're at the beginning. You're kind of right here. See 3 white soldiers? You're beginning your next big leg. Look at it. Was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. You don't even need to do that. Hit shift. Go to your plus sign. Hit shift. Click. Swing over, and it's going to say it took you 15 buys, 105 days. Sam, I'm Marky Wahlberg. I played a cop. I played a fireman. It doesn't matter, Sam. I can do this. All right? Just listen. Don't do what Tom Brady did and go with that curly head kid. He put all his money in there. He lost it all. Giselle left him. It was horrible. I tell you, I went into Gala with The Rock. It was the best. I'm friends with Jonah Lucas. I'm telling you, I'm Marky Wahlberg, and I approve this message. Shout out to everybody here. What? Anyway, so the weekly looks beautiful to me. I like what I'm seeing on the weekly, and it also suggests we could get to $152,000 for Bitcoin. All right? And we could start to rip to the upside on Milk and Jeffrey's Life Saving. You guys are crazy, man. Reploy, pump is on. I mean, it's about time. REI, baby. So another thing that I'm looking at is the weekly close above 2 candles. This will be the biggest candle Bitcoin's ever had in the history. People are bearish, and Bitcoin's going to close the biggest weekly candle of its life. See this? People don't realize but we were higher before. It doesn't matter. See, people look at the price action. They don't look at when the candles close on the weekly. This is so much, almost more. See, I used to look at price action. And to me, 108 and 105, but you're not at 108 though. But I wouldn't look at the weekly close where the candle closed above the previous 2 highs, right? Which was, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's been 6 weeks since we've done this. We are revisiting previous highs and smashing them on the weekly, all right? Bitcoin pulling back as suggested. I did not chase that high. I decided to chill on the bearish divergence. The bearish div bounced price to the downside. We are dumping on bearish div right now. Please understand what your divergences is. If you don't know divergences, you must learn them. You must put in the effort. As I karate chop the wire so much it hurts my ears. It doesn't matter though. All right. We love you. We appreciate you. Tim Waltz told to get a lawyer after his MSNBC. Oh my God. Oh my God. So much fun news out there, huh? And I shouldn't even say anything. God bless everybody out there. So, I mean, some crazy people out there, but God bless them all, man. So, 3 white soldiers on the weekly, despite there being a wick there. Beautiful wick to the upside. And this weekly candle just will close above these 2 candles. What is that level? It's 104.5. It's 104.63 really, but 104,500. So as long as the weekly candle closes above 104.5, that's what we're looking for. We get that. My goodness. And honestly, just being that close to the 21-day moving average is such a good sign. When the weekly's far away for the 21, but look, right there, this is where we are. I see this as a very similar area. See this? We're in a consolidation very close to the 21. We don't have to touch it, okay? And see how the 21 keeps us moving? We're going to show you the 21 on the small time frames too. We're going to break all this down for you. You're going to be a G by the end of this live stream. You're going to know more than you did in 2 hours ago at 12 o'clock. You're going to be like, man, I know more than I did when I started watching this guy in a funny suit. You know what I mean? What? If you can't make fun of yourself, then who are you making? If you can't laugh at yourself, then who are you going to laugh at? You gotta be free, man. You gotta be open. You gotta be able to kind of be limber with yourself, man. It's okay. I see people so uptight, man. It's time to let go. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. All right, moving back into the 1 minute time frame. Getting a bounce off that 200 MA, which is pretty awesome. If you can see how we're getting groovy. So what would this be? Well, when I look at stuff like this is I start to flag out maybe the 5 minute time frame. We take this top trend, we take this bottom, and I begin to build a possible flag. Now, I'm doing things without even having a secondary candle to create that trend. How do I do this? Well, I've been watching price action for so long. If we're bullish, we're going to consolidate here, and we're going to kind of make some type of parabola and start to get busy. The daily looks beautiful. We're going to get into all that. The weekly looks good. So it would suggest that the scalps and the smaller time frames would look awesome. So there's a few ways to trade, all right? You can see that the daily looks really good. Decide to trade a big time frame and use the small time frames to execute an entry. You can see that the daily looks really good and decide just to scalp the small time frames because you know most of the day the daily is going to go up. It depends on how you want to do it. You see, but it's the same. You're extrapolating the same information. You're just strategizing it in a different manner. It's up to how you want to achieve that goal. Okay, I'm going to give you all those options. You're going to be like a sword swinger that has I'm going to be like a mentor to you that has shown you how to swing the axe, swing the sword, put the shield up. By the time I'm done with you, you're going to go into battle like a true warrior, slicing and dicing the competition. You're going to believe in yourself. You're going to talk positive words to yourself. You're going to become a behemoth in trading. All right. I'm going to make you a warrior. You're going to be amazing. Start talking amazing to yourself because you are. And I'm not just blowing smoke. You're amazing. Your mother and father came together, and that was just a unique experience that just will never happen again. There will never be another you exactly in this moment in time. So as I sit here and wear pants, but as I sit here and talk to you, no, but seriously, I'm being serious. I like to make you laugh while I'm making some serious points because I think, it's good to connect in that deep connection in your mind there. But the idea is this: as you push forward every single day, as you begin to build who you are, right? Talk positively to yourself, build yourself up, be good to yourself. You deserve it. You're the only one that can be truly good to yourself deep internally. Everyone can tell you they love you. If you tell yourself you don't love yourself, you're not going to feel good, right? You can be surrounded by love, but if you don't love yourself, isn't that such a... I just came to that realization, like I've never really fully understood that until right now with all of you. You see what I'm saying? It's a pretty interesting concept. Like, so many people can love you, but if you don't love yourself, it doesn't matter, right? Isn't that interesting? Think about all the celebrities that everybody knew, that everyone thought were amazing, and they ended, horrible things happened to them alone, and they ended up, countless stories. We don't have to get into who, but it just, So loving yourself, that's the beginning of becoming a winner. That's the beginning of helping the world, because once you love yourself, you can love others. You have the capacity. You start looking for others that love themselves, and you think, if I love myself, then so do other people. And if people love themselves, aren't they going to be good to others? Yeah. So then you think the world's a better place. So internally, by loving yourself, you tell yourself the world's actually a pretty good spot. You see what I'm saying? Your philosophy creates this energy, which creates your outlook, which creates your mindset, which spawns the actual success you're living in. You're in control 100% all the time, whether you realize it or not. I'm talking to myself right now. These are my affirmations. I'm here with my own therapist. You guys are just listening in. I just happen to do this on a live stream. So thank you. I appreciate you for being here. All right. And I'm on one tonight. You can obviously tell I'm on another realm right now because today the sunlight hit me. I realized how beautiful and grateful I have. Just my life just hit me, man. And I'm just so grateful for every single moment I'm breathing. Every single time my daughter says she loves me. Every time my wife says she's there for me. Do I need anything? Every one of you sends a comment my way. Man, you people are unbelievable. All right. God bless you, man. Jack and the Beanstalk, a BTC story. Amen. So I love you all. Remember, you're an amazing miracle that will never happen again. Let the world find out who you really are. We need you. We need to know. We desire to know who you truly are, but we need to see the amazing part of you. Some people will never live that full glory on the battlefield. They'll never know if they really truly have it or not. Don't you want to find out who you are? Don't you want to push yourself to these limits and places and go places you never thought possible? I was sitting in that cubicle. I said, man, I'm going to push myself to the limit. And it's possible. We can all do it, but it's a I want to say it's a pain in the, you know what I want to say, but it's tough. It's tough. But we fight every day. We push every day. Somehow, some way, we see through the fake nonsense through focus and discipline. All right. Anyway, let's get back into the charts. What I'm seeing now is an interesting bit, almost a bit of hidden bullish. Like there's a vibe of hidden bullish divergence here. That swings up while that swings down. I'm kind of eyeing this trade. Why? Because I like that I could enter here. I like that I could keep my stop below the 200 MA, which gives me some protection here. And I like that the bigger time frames are bullish. What are the pros? That's the pros of the trade. Okay. What are the cons of the trade? The cons of the trade is this. The daily doesn't look amazing. It's Thursday. That's it. The daily does look amazing. It's Thursday, and Thursdays aren't the best for trading, in my humble opinion, especially after a Fed meeting. May God continue to bless you, Sam. Keep being you. God bless Barefoot Sailing Adventures, man. We all have something to give. We're all unique. I know I'm a weirdo. I know I'm different. I know I'm, I didn't fit in anywhere. I really didn't, everybody. I talk strange. I had new ideas. People looked at me every time I was in a group. I said, why don't we do it this way? Well, maybe we could. And they just was like, get this guy out of here. Or then people loved it. It depended, but most of the time it really didn't fit in. And I knew, man, I'm not meant for this normality. I got to go do my own thing somewhere. If you feel the same as me, put a 333. Let's put the lemon into the water. Let's keep kicking it. And let's find these gems. So Bitcoin pumping off of the low here. And see, this is what I'm starting to see. And this could end up being, we could wait. And the bigger time frames may also spell a pullback. Let's see, how far are we from the 21-day moving average? We're far, but we just got across. And I could see like we could pump across and then come to it later. See how the 1 hour's ready to go? And I want to get into all that. I'm kind of jumping the gun here today. But I don't want to miss I want you to miss a possible entry, right? So we had the bearish div. We collapsed. Great. We did not lose the smooth moving average and the 200 MA, which is very important. Today we got above it. That's my go-to signal. 2 candles closed above the 200. We were gone. I was already in a trade, so I was able to take advantage. But bang, what a move, right? So the key idea is this. Actually, I had already sold right here. So, yeah, that was when the plumber came. And it's all good, man. I was like, I missed that entry. But now, so I want to see, look what I've also have been seeing is these shoulders that kind of wing out. I've seen that, right? And again, see how I have this pattern? There's no guarantees it's going to be just like this. This is like doing what I call a rough sketch. Like you go to, any one of you guys are contractors and you go to someone's house and they kind of give you an idea of what you want. And you're like, all right, like, this is the beginnings of what we believe we're going to build. But, we are just starting out here. So the way it looks to me is you're going to shoulder head, possibly right shoulder here, and make a nice move on out of here. It does say that this could be a possible nice entry for the trade. It's a 289 risk reward ratio. But on the 1 minute, I can also keep, I'd like to use the 5 minute 200 and not the 1 minute. And again, we could be, that bearish div, that could be a lower low. We may dump there. So I like to watch for consolidation. And the key is to have control of your emotions. See, someone says, what if it keeps pumping and they just get in right now? They can't handle it. And someone says, go, it's going to dump. They get frozen. They can't get in. So what you have to do is you have to demo trade this. Like, watch this. See if it makes a flag and demo trade it one day. And then give yourself 50 demo trades. See, the problem is that takes a lot of time. That takes about a month and a half to demo trade 50 of these. Maybe less if you're really, really about it. If you do it all day and you put in the work, it could take you a couple weeks. Your mind needs time to see price action, no matter how many indicators and cool little things. Someone really thinks you can buy these things and tell you when to buy and sell, and it's that simple. Your emotions will block you. You won't believe in the signal. No matter how well it looks, you won't be you won't be connected to the signal. No matter how great I'm just going to buy it and press me. It never works that way. You know why? Because some reason you have something to do with when you get in and out, not just those signals. The person that made the signals can do it because they know why the signal's happening and they've already formed their brain to do it. Subconscious mind theory. Trading has everything to do with reworking your subconscious mind. You can't see things the way you saw them before when you first started trading. All right. Anyway, let's get back into brass tacks here and get back into our top-down analysis. So the weekly looks absolutely beautiful. I just didn't want us to miss a pump. I wanted to make sure we were on the small time frame there. And I like what I'm just so blessed today. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm blown away by the success of the channel, success as we head to 90,000 subscribers, on our way to 100K. And I'm like, dear Lord, just keep me safe and healthy to 100,000, please. Safe from anything that could happen to me or my family. I'm ending like this big milestone, and it's the only thing that can happen. I just don't want anything to happen to me. God bless. Please keep me safe. Please keep all my lifers safe. Everyone, the world, please. And please, man, I'm filled with the light of the Lord today, and I really can't stop saying it. I'm sorry. And I don't know why I'm apologizing. I don't want to look like a religious zealot or a charlatan ever. You know, if you don't believe in, it's up to you. I'm always open to what everyone else feels and believes. Like, I don't want to force anything on you, but I'm just telling you how I feel. If that's okay, I hope you're not offended. Right? Let's take a look at the 3-day chart and talk about what's happening on the 3-day chart. But what I see is this beautiful ascending triangle, right? And it's getting ready to go. It looks like it's getting ready to go, and it's only a matter of time before Bitcoin explodes to the upside here on the 3-day chart and gets that whole big move. I mean, wow. We could really see a monstrous pump here, 157,142 for BTC. I mean, my targets keep getting bigger and bigger, don't they? Your first target's going to be this length of these. That's going to be your first stop. It's about $125,000, right? But it suggests that there could be some more movement here. The 3-day chart, look at those stochastics. They are halfway ready. I mean, that is a beautiful sign for Bitcoin. So things looking pretty good. We're on our way, baby. We're on our way. We're on our way. I think today we're on our way to 90,000 subscribers today. 89,000 subs and counting. 89,000 subs and counting. All right. Let's go back to the daily now. The daily, just getting started. My favorite indicator, the stochastics RSI, so bullish they couldn't even curve below the dotted line. You know, that shows some, like right there. When's the last time we did that? You could look at these. What I love to do is backtest things. Like that time we didn't make it to the dotted line. You just want to see what happened when we didn't make it to the dotted line, right? There's 3 times right there. 4 times. The more the merrier, right? The deeper you go, the better. So there's 4 times. Look at those 4 times, right? Yeah, a little bit of a pump there. Beautiful pump there, right? Like, it was just awesome. 55,000 all the way to 68. I mean, that's awesome. And this began a massive move, right? And here we are again, where and you see what I'm saying? The stochastics RSI did not go below the dotted line before they started curving. What does that indicate? Well, they should be going all the way down when you're in a regular cycle. If they can't go all the way down, it means there's so much bullish pressure that indicator itself can't go relatively where it used to go. All right. It can be a bearish sign too. I've seen it mean like, well, you didn't hit there yet and we've rolled over right here. Okay. But you got to be able to read the market, the support and resistance. Everything is confluence. It's combined influence. That's what I look at confluence. CO influence, right? Combined influence, confluence. We want to see if that many things say the same thing. That's how probabilities get built. That's how you start to see the market in an enriched fashion that gives you a highly detailed vision of where the charts are possibly going to go. Okay. So here we are bouncing off the 21-day moving average, low stochastics. I like what I'm seeing. And I gave this trade to my trading group. I talked about I said, open up a trade on the daily. I said, that's all you have to do. I said, take it easy. You know, I didn't want to overwhelm the beginners that are watching us scalp the small time frames all day. We're going in and out like banshees. They're like, what are these guys doing? You know, take a look here. I like to slow it down for the beginner in the trading group. I want to make it simple. All right. And look, even this is a valid trade to me, as simple as it is. This is yesterday at 8 p.m. Bitcoin was sitting at about $104,039. That's the daily. Stop loss and everything. This trade is in the money as we speak. Okay. It depends on how much someone put in. Yes and no. It's up $1,800 of Bitcoin, right? At the 104 entry. We talked about even a few entries earlier than that. That was simply buying the breakout too. It wasn't even, you didn't have to be a genius there. The Stokes just told you there was a big move. Lack of bearish momentum on the MACD. I teach my students this all the time. We go over it all the time. Another interesting thing, look at this. A little, some people teach this too, but there's a bit of a cup and handle inside of the stochastics RSI. There's just too much gold here on this channel, right? And then you're breaching above the medium line. Very bullish sign. Look what this might create. A shoulder. I had a little right shoulder. We are gone, baby, gone. Guan, baby, guan. Look at this. A channel on the RSI to the upside, just like we channeled down A falling wedge broke to the upside, did it not? Look at this. A shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, a bit of a double bottom. I mean, it's amazing. You'll see it all the time. A double top, right? Head and shoulder pattern right there. Dump. A double bottom on the RSI. You see what I'm saying? Look, a head and shoulder right there. Dump. I got to tell you, it's all there for you, whether you want to see it or not. The world is shaped in a simulative, mathematical form. Once we start to see through this matrix, like the vision of the matrix, we can start to actually see the simulation on the charts. I knew not to chase so far. Why? Price action flat. How do I know price action flat? Why am I not running in right now? I can see where we are on the stochastic. I'm watching the smaller time frames. You know, they're communicating to me, we got a little time, even if we do decide to pump later today. So the daily looks good to me. Now, could we hit resistance here? Yes, this is the major thing we want to see. We want to break above daily resistance. Where this red candle opened, 106, 143. We would love a daily candle above 106,000. 106.5 would be great. But this is what I'm looking at here for BTC. All right. And this is an ascending triangle. What I do is I just keep playing what the market gives us. Let's just say 4 or 5 days ago. Another thing that I want to show you that I find very interesting is a similar kind of formation here in Bitcoin. Go grab your head and shoulders. That's going to be 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And 3, you can also grab it and have it here if you'd like, right? I have it right there on my fast menu. I always forget about the fast menu though. But like I'm seeing what's called an uptrending, twisted, drunken, inverted head and shoulder, right? Which is showing signs of life to the upside, which also has, it's like homie Sammy cup and heady to the upside every single day, baby. But that's a cup and handle. That cup and handle suggests that we go to the upside. They're both pointing somewhere to the $117,000 to $118,000 region here for Bitcoin. So if you're a cryptocurrency lover, if you call yourself a crypto lifer, if this is your life, all right, then you got to be excited for what we're seeing here for Bitcoin. Again, we're not there yet. Could this be a triple top? I'm open-minded. Could we dump to the downside? Could we go to 75? Everybody, no matter what I just showed you, now how much I just spoke, I'm going to give you something that's the most truth of all this, of anything I say in this channel. So I want you to remember this. I'm going to stop the music for this. All right? I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. I have no clue. I don't. I just play the probabilities. The probabilities are very high. This daily candle is going to close extremely green. And look, it's going to close above this resistance here, these two candles. So let's break that daily down right now and just really. But so I want you to see, this inverted head and shoulder. And what I want you to understand is the last time Bitcoin went on some type of move like this, it was a very similar type of behavior where we had this uptrending. And this is when like big people are buying into Bitcoin, like nation states, because, to move Bitcoin in these, like, this is how like small coins move on the 1 minute, right? They inverted. But that's so the same similar idea here happening for Bitcoin, kind of the uptrending inverted head and shoulder. And what the inverted head and shoulder does is it starts to create that move, that parabolic move, right? You see, it's the first higher low in the set after a downtrend. High, low, higher high, higher low. You can see we've clearly, so you buy the first higher low. That's where you buy. That's where you ape in. That's why I aped in. Right? That's where you know that we're likely going to now create a higher high. You had a high, a lower high, a lower low. But then you put in a higher high. At that point, you put in a double bottom. At this point, you put in a higher high and then a higher low. The second these two candles started to close, and when this candle closed green, that was my indication that the trend had changed to the upside. Get rid of the moving averages and really see price action. Low, higher, higher. You must understand trend analysis. Bitcoin is in a macro uptrend. Anyone that told you that the bear market was over, I told you that it was possible. I told you anything is there. I said, that's a double top. I said, it doesn't look amazing. I said, but I know nothing but the fact about ignorance. We're going to take it one candle, one day, one step at a time, right? And what I also kept mentioning was I am a trend analysis guy, and that's a low, that's a high, that's a low, that's a high, that's a low, that's a high. I said, the bear market, you cannot have a bear market unless you took out this low. Unless you take out this low right here on this wick there at about 48. So a daily, weekly candle would have to close below 40. A daily candle would have to close below 49,000 for me to believe that we are in a bear market. Because at that point, you would have taken out this low and changed the trend. But that hasn't happened. We're in a uptrend, a magnanimous uptrend. It almost suggests that maybe, you know, when you really look at it, it's almost changing trajectory here. It's pivoting. You can feel the pivot. And yes, we may come up. It says we may go all the way up to like 140, come back down to 110. But there's still a big trend there. You know, 150, come back down. But there's still a beautiful trend forming here for Bitcoin on the bigger time frame. Anyway, let's get back into the daily. I have so much I got to show you on the daily. I'm not done yet. I have so much analysis to teach you, and I'd love to be on the smaller time. I wish we could do it all, but we can't. We got to be in one place at one time, right? I wish I could be in two places at the same time. Am I? Concurrently living multiple realities through the simulation? Through the 33rd degree manifestation of reality? No. Don't tell them that. You will be disappeared. So anyway, Bitcoin. First level 118, second level 126, 135, and then we're talking 152, 157. I mean, these are the legs we're looking at. Now the big leg, we don't really have to, you know, we'll go to it later on, but I can see that's likely going to happen. So the daily looks lovely. It could hit a resistance here. We could end up at the bottom of the channel. This is what we kind of have to figure out in the next few hours. And it's going to depend on how the daily closes. But look, I see this shoulder, head, right shoulder, like I showed you. This would be your neckline. This is basically your measured move on that neckline. And this suggests that you're going somewhere to 122 just based off the inverted head and shoulder. Like no craziness, you know, low stochastic, lack of bearish momentum with the MACD. You got above the point of control, which told me you were likely headed up through the gap to this high volume node at 105 into liquidity. Everything really starting to come together. Let's take a look at Bookmap and see what it's saying. Bookmap, link in the description below. It's an amazing liquidity finder. It shows you where all the stop losses are of the major whales and people and amalgamated data. You can see we have a bunch of stop losses here at 106,970 for the shorts. We have the main stop losses down at 104. There was a glob of people down at 90K. Are they still down there or did they eventually disappear? They're still down there. So there's still a long blob, just a glob. Now, I've seen this before and it eventually gets pulled away. These are the people that went extra long. And first, I would be raising that stop or, I don't know, taking profit and resetting. But again, they're going to stay long here with a stop loss at 90K. They want to go for the big move, probably to 150,000. So they're going to get in now. And so there's 90K liquidations. And I had a bunch of trades open like that, 92,000 liquidations, and they're in the money right now. The thing is, if we lose 100K, you could probably take it off the table. You don't have to get liquidated. But right now, you can keep it with no stop and just say, hey, what's my risk? They'd have to come to 90K to take me out. What am I willing to lose for a Bitcoin move? See? I'm okay with that. See, I usually would be a little risk adverse to that, but in this day and age, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. You got to do whatever makes you happy. But for me, that makes sense, especially if you hit big recently, like I hit kind of big. I got a 60K hit. I could use 10K of it. It could get liquidated at 90K, or it could make you 40, 50K. You know? You throw it on the chopping block. Again, you have to know your risk and know what you're doing. All right? For me, it makes sense, but it might not make sense for you. I don't know what you're doing or where you're at. That's when everyone says, oh, what do? You can't tell anyone what to do. No one could be a financial advisor really to anybody unless someone actually knows your ins and outs. You sit with them, they can see your life, right? That's why, you know, you can't tell anyone what to buy or sell. We don't know where someone's at, where their last paycheck is coming from and all that. So liquidity, you can clearly see, is kind of either way. There's something that could get us to 106,000, 105.5 looks more likely at the present moment in time. But it's scant. And again, like I told you, yesterday they liquidated a lot of people. So it's only kind of the bigger, longer time frame people that didn't get liquidated are watching it from a bigger perspective. So right now, all right, I gave you kind of the skinny on the bigger time frames. First level we'll look at is of 118,000. And of course, we have to close a daily candle above 106,143, like that, you know what I mean? And then we want to make sure that weekly candle closes. So the big thing we're looking for, weekly candle close above 104,005, right? 104,463. We really want to see that happen. We get that, we're going to be in a good spot. Spread your love, he said. All right. I know. Get your head out of the gutter. So, yeah. We see the inverted head and shoulder. We see the higher low. We see the uptrend. We got to clear these highs. The trend suggests that we clearly will. Once you got above this high and made a higher low, even with this massive wick, both wicks, both of these are pretty awesome because they suggest just, that we cleared out leverage traders, which each time you do that, it's a good reset for the market. Now let's go back to the 22 and the 12, which are my babies. They're both in set for more. I like what we're seeing. Remember what we told you. And don't forget, I said the bounce off the 8-hour 200 MA. Remember how I used the 200? When this happened, I showed my trading group. I said, look, we bounced. The 4-hour and the 8-hour both was ironclad, I called it. That was an iron boom. I said, hey, as long as we stay above the 200 MA, I remain bullish. I said, don't listen to the bears. I said, if we close a candle below this, I'll start looking for bear flags and I'll start looking to short the market. I said, but until then, you got to remain bullish. We're above the 4-hour 200 MA. I said, this pattern doesn't look amazing, but it's a falling wedge nonetheless. I said, it looks like a falling wedge where they broke out of it right there. They bear flagged it and they got back inside. I told you to watch for this right shoulder yesterday on the 15-minute time frame. We were sitting all day waiting for that right shoulder, or the 1 hour, was it? Waiting for this right shoulder to get made right here. If you remember correctly, we got the nasty dump. When we got the nasty dump, I said, hey, there's a chance here. I said, look, high or low. I said, don't panic. I said, this could be making some type of inverted head and shoulder that gets us back up to liquidity, back to $104,000, $105,000, right? We saw this and we talked about it, and then we got the move. We got the right shoulder and we hit. I mean, this is, you can go back to the live stream yesterday and you can see me doing this. All right. This is from years of practice, years of doing it and not taking days off over and over again. Till your mind sees things before they happen over and over and over again. It's a repetitive building block of mathematical data that just keeps going. And you're able just to see what's most likely going to happen. How could I see that? I've seen this so many times. It's not even a right shoulder. They just fluff it. I call this the flamingo head and shoulder. Why do I call it the flamingo? I don't know. I like flamingos. And if you see a flamingo or almost like a bird fly, they have this, you know what I mean? It's flamingo-y, all right? Now, a normal head and shoulder is like a McKinley head and shoulder, all right? Why McKinley? More like a real, it looks like a real mountaintop, right? Like the highest mountain peak in the North America, Mount McKinley, not Denali, anyway, right? So these ideas, right? So I've seen this before. And what happens is your mind starts knowing, oh yeah, I've seen that happen before. All right. So this is kind of what we showed you yesterday. So we might just show you something today that predicts or helps you find out where, and then look at the gap in the VRVP. See how we gap? That tells you that once you get above the 200 MA, which I preach and talk about, you're likely going to move to the upside. We do this on the 1 minute. We do one on the 15. I showed it back when Bitcoin was moving on the 5-day. One of my biggest calls was way back here. Everyone was getting bearish. Why? They started calling this a bear flag. A lot of people. You can go back to the charts. And look, I mean, rightly so. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay? Bear flag. And everyone felt like this was a faded rally. I had told everyone that this was the bottom, and I knew we were in a bull market because bullish divergence on the weekly is once every 5 years. And I also did this trend analysis thing. If you watch my live stream or you came to if you take my course, I show you how I found the bottom. I went to I used to be on ATB, and I used to call the bottom on that show constantly. If you watched it, at 1.5 million subscribers on Ben's old channel, we all got together, and it would be kind of like a battle of the minds a little bit. And I became like the premier technical analyst of the show. Like they had me on sometimes 2-3 times a week. And the lifers used to show up 800 deep, 900 deep, bombard the chain. It was an amazing time, man, back then. I could only relive those moments. I felt like a rock star, you know what I mean? But I mean, if you're an OG, then you know the legend of the lifer, man. We've been out here for a long, long time. So we called this bottom publicly. I went on Sin City Crypto and talked about it. Shout out to Rob and Dave. So yeah, but what I said is, I said, you know, have no fear. I called hidden bullish divergence here. I remember it on the 3-day chart. This swing down, this swung up. And I said, that's hidden bullish divergence. I said, that tells me that the trend will continue to the upside 90% of the time. I said, we're going to break this high before we break this low. I said, that's a bit of a double bottom. Right? Did we not double bottom here? And I said, man, that's a double bottom. Right? And that double bottom is a 68%. So by being very simple, and then once we got, I said, if one candle on the 5-day closes above the 200 MA, I said, that's where you long and never look back. And you can see me saying that. I said, you'd be in the, and again, I piled in. At that point, I knew that all my years of doing this were going to come through for me. And so you got to use the 200 MA, in my humble opinion. Not using it is a detriment. Not understanding how powerful it is and how many time frames it can make sense to you. And today's a real hardcore teaching stream. The volume's a little low. Bitcoin's somewhat sideways. It's only going down, up and down, $150 here. It's not doing amazing, right? So here's a day where I really break down a lot more concepts for you. I always have something planned depending on the day. I never waste your 2 hours. There's no reason to waste your 2 hours here. All right? These are 2 hours of God-given time that all of us can use to find betterment in our lives. I'm not going to waste it on you. Shout out to all the beautiful people. We have 663 beautiful souls. Hit that like button. Thank you so much to all the people that did hit that like button. Dear Lord, thank you for all the people you sent into my life to hit that like button. It's one of the nicest things anyone could ever do for me. Then you could tip someone, pull out your wallet. You know, I don't know. You can do all these other things for other people, which is awesome. This is something you can do for me. It's just a gloss over with the mouse. It's a very simple thing, but everyone that did that, it's going to come back to you tenfold. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. May God bless each and every one of you for doing so. That is a blessing. I mean, it's basically like hooking up my kids and my wife because we're a small business and they look up to their daddy and I fight every day and move every day and work every day. And so hitting that like button is like saying, hey, to an American family man, God bless. You know, to your wife and kids, God bless. To the guy that wakes up every single day and puts his foot forward for his family, God bless. And so thank you so much for hitting that like button. It means the world to me. And you have no idea. Every single day we push forward. Every single day we make some type of beautiful content to help you see the markets in a better way. Let's take a look at the 22-hour time frame. So we got here. We're at the 4-hour. So here we are. 8-hour. So we were talking about the bounce on the 200 MA, and I went into a bit of a tangent there, but it was important to go on that tangent and soak this up. I may never be here forever. I might not be here forever. I mean, I'm not. I'm a human being. So soak this up. All to you young bucks here, getting this, you know, advantage of this awesome stuff. So again, resistance though, isn't it? You know, let's break it down. Resistance, funny, man. Crazy how we track this diamond, right? And diamonds are supposed to break down. It came in. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. You learned the diamond, if anything, with me. That was a monumental time. It was also ended up being a symmetrical triangle, and I keep telling you guys this and write it down again. Symmetrical triangles break down 90% of the time. They used to be 50% patterns. Not anymore. Everyone I've found in the last few months has broken down. No upside at all to the the symmetrical triangle. Symmetrical triangle. It's a chubby triangle that looks very even on both sides. Not like a sleek bull pennant. All right? It's like this. It's a chubby triangle. These break down 90% of the time. They're like descending triangles, basically. So here we are with Bitcoin, right? Do we continue to pump? So the daily looks great. The 4-hour, a little far away from the 21-day moving average now. A little high in the stochastics, eh? Right? And on its move on the RSI, definitely has legs, but, you know. So what I'm starting to see is, yes, could we continue? Yeah, the daily looks good to me. There's a way, there's something I call pinning. The daily might be so bullish today that it pins the other time frames. So we talked about a lot right now. Let's kind of break down what's going on right here. The daily needs to close a daily candle above 106,250, we'll say. All right. That would, you know, it's 143, but 250 would be clean. 500 would be amazing. 106.5 would really seal the deal. That would be the highest daily close in the history of Bitcoin. See, people only think of how high it's went up, but they don't remember where the candles closed. I remind you of the facts here so you can actually look, because this is the most important thing. See, I used to think it was when the price went, oh, but it's not, it's 105. It's been at 109 before. It doesn't really matter where, I mean, that matters. There's parameters to that because there's Fibonacci levels and all that. But the real idea you want to mention is the fact that the candles have to close above key areas. You can go as high as you want. If the candle doesn't close above where the previous candles are, you're bearish. You can go down all you want. If the candle can't close below these highs, then you're still bullish. So yeah, look, they brought this candle down. Like we went to 98,000, but they didn't close the daily candle below 101.2. You see? So to the season trader, that's a bullish close. To the beginning trader, that's a horrible day of a massive dump. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know why my internet reset freaked me out. I hope I'm still live. Excellent connection. Shout out to everybody here. We have a full house here. 2,500 beautiful souls. About to hit 1,000 likes here. Please subscribe to the channel. On our way to 90,000 subscribers. If you like what you're hearing here, if you're getting some knowledge, if you're loving what you're seeing, okay. So Bitcoin, could it get back above the 200 MA? Right, this is what I'm looking. And I mean, can we get back above the 106,000? Not the 200. I'm like, can we get back? I'm like, can I get back above $106,250? So that's the most important thing to me, that the daily candle closes. And funny, I already started seeing a shoulder, like this could make a right shoulder. I wouldn't be surprised if we dump here and we get tight too, though. So I can see how the pattern could take over. And here we are on the 4-hour time frame. And so what you got to look at is 4-hour support and resistance. And see, bounce right there. Wicked, but we got above it, and a wick right pretty close to there. So the 4-hour looks bullish. It is a little far away from the 21-day moving average. Right? For whatever reason. If Bitcoin dumps, then that means he's dumping too. Yeah. Yeah. God bless you, Sam. Shout out to No Name in the house. We love you. Let's see what's going on here. TradingView may have reset their server. You never know. Something going on there with the moving averages. See that? It's all good. It's happened a couple times. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so the idea is the daily could come back to that 21. Okay. I just want to get into the small time frame soon and really start to get into the nitty gritty here. All right. VTHO is starting to pump out the flag, stayed above the 200 MA. Someone asked about it in the channel today, said he was going to open up a 3X. I didn't comment on that at all, but I just looked and said, hey, if you stay above the 200 MA, you're getting tight. Bitcoin pumps, right? And look, you did get a nice move. Shout out to that dude. Hopefully he took some gains on that trade and didn't go too, get too crazy with it. All right, so see where the 21's curving up and the 4-hour time frame? Again, there's some bullish signs here that there's the feeling of a continuation, right? A feeling that you can, again, just because the Stokes are high, the daily could pin us. The daily could continue to pump today. The smaller time frames will give you that love, though. They'll show you kind of where we're likely going to go. So here's the deal. We made a flag on the 1 hour today. We pumped. And now it looks like we may actually hold this previous support as resistance. So the 1 hour now, resistance could be SR flipping the $105,500 area, 105.5. Okay? And see, look, everything's right and tight again. We're back. It just took a second. So that looks bullish to me. There's a little bearish div on the 1 hour. You see this? But the stochastics look good. The stochastics say that we could have a nice pump today. So I'm starting to see, we have a bullish daily. We have a bullish 1 hour. The 4 hour is a little sketchy, but, and you do have some bearish div on the 1 hour time frame. See how I'm working the trade? I'm waiting for the trade to tell me what to do. I didn't jump in yet. And again, yeah, oh, but it pumped, Sam, all the way from 105. Well, you've already missed a 3. We took massive gains yesterday. I woke up in gains this morning. I've hit my daily quota already. Both days, way more than I need to make for the day on my futures account. So it's just been it's been good. So I'm blessed. I don't need to push it. The next trade's got to come to me now. I'm not forcing it. I was aggressive last night. I had to be. I did what I had to do to make my gains. So remember, this is kind of where we were last time. We had us right here saying, hey, we're going to watch this to see if we can flag out and continue a pump. So nothing's really changed, right? And this is why I do what I does. Bit of a diagonal trend there that needs to bounce. Bit of a beautiful, somewhat of a double bottom almost there. See that? That's bullish. Yeah, so I'm starting to see some bullishness here. 5 minute looks interesting to me too for a pump. That's a double bottom. If you're scalping hardcore and you're a maniac, like you're just, it looks like you could get this little quick scalp up to 106.2 real fast. So I like what I'm starting to see here for Bitcoin. And the odds are telling me that the 4 hour could get pinned. We could start to make this flag, and that's the next trade. So look, it took me about what? About an hour. Like we started 10:10, and I usually go over Bitcoin between 30 and 40 minutes. I did some in-depth teaching throughout this time too, so I didn't just stay on one thing. All right. 934 likes, man. You people are unbelievable. Dear Lord, you hit me. This is amazing. Thank you for all the likes that everyone's hitting me. I'm super appreciative. Stay in gratitude and you will live in abundance. Look how the abundance continues to come when you're grateful for what you already have. You guys see it in real time. You see how gratitude creates abundance. No one can hate on you when you're full of love. No one can be rude to you when you're full of love. Love is the strongest frequency in the game. When you live in love, you cannot be denied, my friends. Keep living in love. Keep following your heart. Keep following your passions. I sat in a cubicle one day, wanted to be on YouTube, wanted to change my life. That was my passion. That's what I desired to do. I did it. Now we're here together. Boom. Reality has changed. My mind created a thought process that put me inside of a new place, that created a reaction to success, and now we're all here together making it happen. What are the odds of that? If I never had those thoughts, if I never wanted to break out of that 9 to 5 that I was working, we wouldn't be here. This show wouldn't be here. Each and every one of you inspire me to show up every day and push myself to my limit, because I know you're going to show up every day and push yourself to your limit. And you tell me that I inspire you, so you inspire me. It's a symbiotic circuitry that completes itself and gets stronger every time we cycle through. Amen. So look at Bitcoin USDT here. I'm seeing a bit of a move. And that move would take us to 107,999. We would close a daily candle higher than we ever have in the history of Bitcoin. So today could be a monumental day for Bitcoin, even though it's low volume, even though it's not my favorite day to trade, even though it's not perfect, right? Funny, Christine Lagarde, confident Bitcoin will not enter EU bank reserves. What a fool. Czech bank, central bank, approves proposal to assess investing reserves in Bitcoin. Banks, baby. CME Group to introduce options on Bitcoin Friday futures, which are priced out at 1/50th of a Bitcoin. Bitcoin price taps 160K as US GDP miss boost Bitcoin bull case. Move token gains momentum after Alchemy Pay integration. And so that's why Alchemy Pay was moving with Move. A little bit of quick data there for you on the day. Let's jump into your super chats. Let's talk about it. But I see a move here for Bitcoin. Stop loss below the point of control at 105,200. Could be at 105, 190, I believe. No, 122. Yeah. Take profit would be 107,999, 108K. And again, maybe this just rolls over and we dump. If we lose the 200 MA in the 5 minute, none of this is possible. And if we look, resistance. We want to use that as support. 105.5 is very important that we hold. So we're looking for the 5 minute to hold 105.5. We're looking for price action to get tighter, and we're looking to stay above the 200 MA. If this happens while we consolidate, high likely that this trade will play out. And this is my next scalp. I've been using the 5-minute more than ever recently. And I think it's a little better for beginners to get a hold of than the 1 minute, of course. But once you graduate from the 5, you can move on. Oh my gosh, Jamie. Jamie. We love everybody, Jamie. A sack of leather over there. Oh my goodness. Shout out to everybody here. Let's take a look at the super chats. Helix AI, Tima XEN, Mentat Soul, and OCAI. Why you guys want to dive into the into the degen stuff real fast? And let's take a look at the fan funding. See who's out there saying hi to the lifer. Give you guys kind of your, put you on screen and say what's up. FARTBOY continues to consolidate. I tell you, the last time it did this, we called the magnanimous move, and it did it. So we called FARTBOY's last huge move. Will it do it again? Again. Let's take a look at FARTBOY on the daily time frame. So again, someone said, I'm not sure how to do my Fibonacci. Well, look, impulse. All right. The impulse started when this candle ripped, but you can see the whole impulse was this bigger move. So I would take the wick from beginning, like this would be the entire area. And you can see you wicked pretty close to the 786. You can move this up and say boom and say, look, But either way, to me, that's if an asset has continuation ability, like you're going to see something like this. That target takes it to 0.84 for FARTBOY. And I can't believe I'm saying that, right? FARTBOY. But it's better than FARTCoin. For some reason, it's a little lighter on the ears. I'd rather hear FARTBOY than FARTCoin. I don't know why. I can't explain that. You know what I mean? The Adventures of FARTBOY. Dun, 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 dun. Flying high above the gassy clouds. Sorry. When you got a laugh track, you got to use it. All right? It's a superpower. I tell everyone you can say anything you want and people will laugh. And you'll be like, no, I won't laugh at what you say next. I'll be like, okay, wait. Watch this. Yesterday I was walking down the street and I looked at a dog and he looked back at me. I mean, how is that? Like, that's not supposed to be that funny, right? And some of you probably didn't laugh. You probably think I'm lame as heck. That's okay. That's okay, as long as it's like, how do you find me? I find you lame. Well, as long as you find me, it doesn't matter, right? Let's take a look. As long as you find me, my dear. So here, we got to bounce off that 786. That's a powerful area of human emotion. Tells me there could be some more moves here for FARTBOY. And again, it's high risk. It could go to absolute zero. It may make another right shoulder. Bitcoin could have a black swan. You never know. Be careful. Be cautious. But I mean, if anything could continue its rally, FARTBOY's on a mission. And its next level is going to take it to 0.9375 if it does continue to move. All right. Sam is the type of guy that revs a Tesla in a tunnel. I don't know. What's long, green, and slimy and smells like bacon? Kermit the Frog. You guys are horrible, man. Don't say that. That's disgusting, man. Sammy, you're quoting pure truth. Do unto others as you would want them unto you. And that's the Bible. Stay humble, stay winning. You're awesome, man. Amen, man. Reap what you sow. Right? Reap what you sow. Unless it's Mark Wahlberg. Now that's comedy. 2 fishes in a tank. The other fish asks, how do you drive this thing? So stupid. Okay, so that looks interesting to me. Let's jump into the fan funding here. Crucial times. This song is so dramatic. Like, what are we going to do? Bitcoin coming out in. We're showing you the signs of life here for BTC. 105,800, 106,000. Can we make it all the way to 110? Find out today on the Crypto Lifer Show. Beep, 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 beep. Let's take a look here at Helix AI, Tima, XEN, and Mentat Soul, OCAI. And I want to see who you are who's asking these funky questions out here. So first of all, we got some super chats to talk about. We got Night Trida A, right? Night Trida A. Sam, would love a follow-up on your AI video from last week. TriSig, AI16, Colin, current outlook. Is Helix AI Deed? Let's take a look at that. That's awesome. Always here making us laugh, keeping our mind right. You are the man. Shout out to Kevin Hager. We love you, Kevin. We hope you're having a wonderful time out there, man. Stay positive, stay amazing, Kevin. We love you. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Kevin. You didn't have to do that. This is going to come back to you tenfold. Both of you. That's very nice of you to do. You did not have to give super chats, but you did. That's going to come back to you. So, I mean, you have no idea, man. That's great karma for both of you. Carlos Alejandre, good morning, Sam. Thank you for everything. Can you give my bro a birthday shout out to Anthony Alejandre? Have a blessed day. Anthony, we love you. God bless you, brother. Another beautiful birthday, man. You know, not everyone got to celebrate another year, so every time we do, we celebrate that life, celebrate our life, all the people you've touched, all the things you've done, and you're going to continue to do. Carlos and Anthony, the best thing in life is two brothers that love each other and they're there for each other. I hope you guys are always remain friends. Never let anything get in the way of your relationship with your brother, man. And obviously, Carlos loves you. He's shouting you out. Carlos and Anthony, man, you guys can take over the world together. I can't wait to meet you both one day. God bless the Alejandre brothers, man, and happy birthday to Anthony. Yonito Savela, good morning, friends. God bless you, Nojito. Thank you so much. Good morning to you. Charles with the $4.99 says Tima has found solid floor, ready to break out when the market turns. VC Capital will be investing. 2 mil is really, it's okay, but is that going to change the guard? To me, it's kind of deed. You got to get people to kind of get going into it, and it's all about the TA to me. It really is. It did bounce off a 2-point. I don't know, man. That thing looks. I have to be honest. You're almost better off not mentioning it anymore because I'm not going to give it good. You know, that doesn't look good to me. I'd stay away from that. It's back to the beginnings. Like it looks like a pump, and you know, we took that ascending triangle. Life was great. I didn't touch it, but I found a 10x on it. And to me, that was it. That was it at 6 cents, and that's been it. Again, maybe it's making this elongated Adam and Eve, and there's a chance that you found the bottom, but I'm all set. And I'm likely going to stop doing the super chats on it, man. I love you, Charles, but I'm moving on, my man. I maybe suggest you might want to too. I don't know, though. God bless you. See, I don't want to put anyone down or hurt anyone's feelings. So, you know, TN, XCN, any idea possible realistic entry price? Yeah, that thing's been out of control. A lot of people want to know what's happening to XCN. Might make a sole video about XCN later on today. Let's take a look at where Bitcoin is too. I don't want to lose the moves here. 105,790 for BTC right now. 105.8 so far, somewhat okay, but you know, we could bring this up still kind of inside of this, and honestly now it's making a symmetrical triangle, right? Which could go either way. I'm going to readjust that top line to make sure it's spot on. Man, it's nothing like having a good contractor in your house. Like, I got a guy that I can trust, that I like, and that I believe in, man. And, you know, I wouldn't want anyone else in my house, bro. You know what I'm saying? Enver, we love you, brother. I'm going to show him this online. I'm like, Enver, we love you, man. Call this number right here. No, I'll ask him. He's like, don't ever do that. But look, his phone just starts ringing all day. I mean, there's a lot of Floridians out here. I live on the Gulf of America. I don't know where you live, but I live here on the Gulf of America. Beautiful times, man. I love going out in the Gulf of America. I have so many memories with my friend Mindy taking me out on the Gulf of America. Absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so let's take a look at the TA on XCN for each and every one of us here and see what's happening to XCN. USDT. Onyx coin. Now this thing ran up. We were able to give the call just because we're good little soldiers with our technical analysis. I saw this flag and gave it to the trading group. I gave the exact entry with a stop loss that never got hit, and this thing was gone. Shout out to anyone that took it. And then we saw more flags that went for more. And it just continued to rip. So let's take a look at what's happening now to XCN. The first thing you want to do is delete all the moving averages. The second thing you want to do is take a look at it on the biggest time frame you can find and really take a glance at it. So it came out of nowhere. And it got a couple weeks of absolute love and a massive pump. Look at the RSI on the weekly. It's a bit unsustainable, no? Look at the stochastics. They tell a story of a little too much and a little too much too fast, don't they? Okay? That's just the first thing I'm taking in. The second thing is the 3-day chart's very far away from the 21-day moving average. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go look at 1,000 different charts. How many times did you see the 5 3-day candles in a row ripping like that and not get a pullback? Very rare. Go test it yourself. Go on the 3-day, go look at 50 charts. Scan as many big green candle sections as you can find, and you'll find that's very rare, number one. So you're in an anomaly state comparative to the, because everything's a probability. Now, there's something going on with this coin, and maybe it keeps pressing the bigger time frames. But to me, I see a bit of a double top. And so I'm open-minded to say I don't know what's going to happen. It has some parabolic vibes. They say it's connected to, the new banking system and XIP and anything with an X like XLM and XIP and all this fun stuff, right? So you would say, okay. But it did double top here. And so if I was thinking of jumping on in, I'd be looking for this to kind of consolidate for 4 to 5 days. To me, that would be the safer bet. And you'd have to kind of sit on your hands here. Now, there's a chance it continues to rip and you miss out, I guess. But it's a little unlikely with where the daily's sitting. All right? And the 3-day chart. Look at your 12-day. It looks more like you're making a lower high, high, low, lower high. You would expect now to make a lower low in the trend, no? Again, I don't know exactly what's going to happen here, so I make what's called the twisted sister. I create both patterns and I wait for price action to fill one. The likelihood is the daily will come back to the 21-day moving average somehow, some way. And then you pull your Fibonacci from this impulse now just to look, because that's, look, you came up, you consolidated, you came up, you dumped. The impulse would be from this low wick. I take it from that little wick first because that's how the impulse began after a tight consolidation. Some would pull it from that candle body or whatever. You'd be pretty much doing the same thing regardless. Remember, irregardless is not a word. It's not. I just want to. People think it is. It's just not. So you're looking for a pullback, honestly. And some people say, well, I don't know when to. I mean, you could fill this whole thing. That was the insane move. So, I'd say that I wouldn't be looking into this till it goes to 108. And if it doesn't do that and it continues to rip, you're chasing an unsustainable asset anyway. Like, it would come up here and then probably crash. So if it does pump out of control, it's probably eventually just going to do that anyway. And I could be wrong. It may come up here, do something beautiful, and I look like a complete idiot. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. The odds are I don't look like a fool, but you never know. And there's Bitcoin pulling back to 105,150. Perfect that I didn't put myself into a long. Perfect that you didn't see me scalping. And in 2025, I am going to trade a little less, and I'm just going to, use bigger amounts of money. Instead of using smaller amounts more, I'm going to use bigger amounts less, if that makes any sense. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, that's XCN in a bit of a nutshell here. Let's continue through these super chats and help each and every one of you out asking these questions. And remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm just going to go over some key ideas and showing you education. I'm showing you the fibs. I'm showing you support and resistance. I'm teaching you the moving averages, the VRVP. Every single thing is a learning session, a learning moment here in the charts. Music is a little loud. So sorry I did that to you. I apologize there. I'm just hyped. You can feel the hype. You can feel the energy. It's hard for me to keep it contained. We had a big day of trading. I'm up massively in the last couple days. And I'm just happy that we got the bounce back we did in a lot of bigger coins. So, someone asked about MetTat. I mean, it looks like it came up and came right back down. All right, I'd have to look at the Twitter. Is there a lot of action? Are they tweeting a lot? What are they saying? What's going on? Next generation meta agent powered by advanced reasoning models. MetTat Debt XYZ. Product roadmap demo dropping tomorrow. Seamless onboarding. Modular reasoning architecture. Phase 1 is to create a single large reasoning model that is generally intelligent, has high baseline of blockchain knowledge, and is able to perform general reasoning. By doing this, we create a base that can plug info into any chain and analyze any data. I mean, it all sounds great. Let's see if they can pull it off. It looks like a lot of people got in on the beginning, and they sold it to anyone who just heard about it. So exit liquidity for sure, right? They created exit liquidity, didn't they? So yeah, Spice, right? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Spice on Sol, Mentat. I don't know why. Another thing, why is the name and the ticker so different? I find that a little weird, right? Almost my initials, S Price, right? Sprice. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it looks like it was people on the inside got a handle on this thing and they sold it off to everybody on their face. And I'd be careful, man. Maybe it comes back. It's got a good narrative, quote unquote narrative, but I don't know. Doesn't look amazing to me here. Let's take a look at Helix AI, HXAI. All right. Let's see here. For Wrapped ETH. Was it on Sol? No, that was it, right? I mean, that thing too, another, again, these could be ruggers, man. That's a possible rug. Had a great idea. The website looked amazing. I don't know, man. Like, look at that. And when Bitcoin tanked too, a lot of beginning projects, but man, 63,000. And again, I never held any of this coin. You could, anyone, I just never did. I promise you all my life. That looks horrible, right? When I found it, it was in a downtrend. I liked the idea. I did make a video, top 5 agents that I thought were pretty cool. But again, this thing went to zero. So, and maybe does it round a bottom and turn into something amazing? There's a chance, but I don't know. I'm happy I never bought any of this, but again, be careful of narratives. The website looks amazing. What they say they want to do looks cool. But again, to revolutionize the healthcare system, like you look at all the bureaucratic tape you're going to have to go through. Did you watch RFK yesterday? I mean, and so this could also been a little bit of bearish for this, and the fact that DeepSync may be better, may create an alternative that makes this kind of nil. Remember, DeepSync took a lot of things that looked cool and turned them into absolutely nil. And so that could have happened to this project too. You have to remember what happened here in the last few days. All right. Let's take a look at OCAI. Never heard of it. Oknest AI. Market cap creeping up on 1 mil. Really just too small for me, but look at it's out of control. I don't know what's going on there. I don't. Looks a little sketchy to me. Maybe you found something amazing at the very beginnings. I don't know. This whole world, it's almost a little, some of them is a little too risk adverse for me, personally. You guys are riskier than I am, honestly. Making significant strides in revolutionizing data interpretation through smart visuals. All right. Just submitted my request to Oknest through AI CoinGecko request. Interesting. Is in progress of adding foundational AI models, new edition DeepSync. So it's saying it's working DeepSync, so it's going to go the opposite to the coins that dump without it, you know what I mean? And maybe that DeepSync connection is making it, giving it that extra move today. Very small market cap, brand new coin. Who knows? I mean, a 10x to 6 mil, right? Again, I don't know though. Super high risk. Super high risk. Okay, we're ripping through. Shout out to Hank Solman. Shout out to Paul Wood in the house. Paul, we love you, man. Shout out to Sage. Will you take a look at Mentat on Sol? Lom, yep. And look at OCAI. Shout out to the lifer, the lifesaver, saving lives with crypto trades, executing energy, charm, sincerity, walking the walk, blazing a trail to a better life for us to follow. Also check SHX, which I believe is Stronghold, right? What's long, green, and slimy? Oh my God. Wow, we have a lot of super chats in here. This is insane. Shout out to D. John Mays. Shout out to Jet. Shout out to Sage, Hank Solomon, Master Kings, Infinite Growth. This channel is life-changing. Join the 99 trading group. Thank you, Sammy. God bless everybody here. If you want to jump on into the trading group, as he said, well, you see my updates last night for Bitcoin. You would watch all my updates and my gains that I made on Bitcoin. All right, tonight we have a screen share. I share my portfolio, talk about the ins and outs, talk about what's happening, see if I'm going to add any coins, what's going on. We break down Bitcoin, talk about the coins that are coming out. Is there a new narrative? And just see kind of where we're sitting. That's every single Thursday from 8:15 to about 10 o'clock. Every single Thursday night, jump on in. That is included in your $99 subscription. Today could be your first time jumping on in. You could join the 99. Join us today. For a basic $99 a month, a quarterly or an annual subscription. I'll be here every single day guiding you through the charts, guiding you through the market, talking about Bitcoin updates twice a day, sometimes more. All my insights, my tips and tricks, scalps in the small time frames, long time frame holds in the daily, you name it, it's all there for you. All right? We'll break it down every single day, constantly, no days off in over 1,500 days. Showing you how to become disciplined, how to push yourself to the limit. That alone, I was in a trading group with a mentor. Shout out to my mentor. I did find out he did pass away. CBC Chris, man, I love you, brother, with all my heart. Finding out the person that taught me a lot about crypto, a lot about... I joined a trading group and I became the #1 student out of 5,000 people. We had a 5,000 person trading group. It was huge. I became the #1 student. Remember what I said? These ascending triangles break down 90% of the time. So this says you're going to dump. You never know, but it says you're going to dump. Anyway, he taught me so much. He taught me how to stay level-headed, taught me how he made a video every day for 5 years. I never saw the guy take a day off. He taught me what consistency was and how to make it. And I took everything he didn't tell me everything. I watched it. I learned it from him. And he passed away at the beginning of January. And I just, God bless him. And I lost my mom, I lost my dad, I lost my mentor. A lot of people that helped me in this journey of life, and now I'm here to help each and every one of you. I got God in my corner now. And God made me independent. He gave me beautiful people to help you in my life. And so I'm here now, every day, solid, rock solid. I'm not going nowhere. And I'm going to make even more gains in this next rally, and you're going to see it firsthand, and we're going to have a blast together. And if you're ready to do it at a high level, if you're ready to push, I'm ready to do it too. So let's do it together. Let's make it happen. Why stop now? We have the future ahead of us. We have so much to go after. Stay away from negative people. See that, only see that there's only positivity for you coming. There's nothing else. And that doesn't mean being naive and not looking at the danger. It means projecting positivity at all times, believing that you're in creation of this reality. And if you're not projecting reality, you're fighting your own reality. And, it's just something that you want to be mindful of all the time. You're mindful of how you're creating your reality. Mindful of how you're talking to yourself. Mindful of how you're treating others. Mindful of how you're behaving on a general basis. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. You're a human being. Learn how to say sorry, move on, and own it. And don't make the same mistakes over and over again, period, right? That's tough love, but that's the facts. So this is a symmetrical triangle, could go either way. I'm not in the trade right now. It tells me it's likely going to dump, though. Why is that? Because these trades mainly dump. Okay. If you had faith and put the work in, Jesus will provide opportunity and support. Amen. It's my favorite. Yahweh or the highway. Sam, a Tripoli original. Amen. Let's take a look at SHX, L Liquid, HNT, MIGGLES, OKLO stock, and MILTON on Soul. Yeah, weekly screen share tonight, baby. Let's take a look at SHX. Wow, so this thing is out of control. Last time I looked at it here, said let's put an alert here. It hit the alert, but after it hit the alert when it was outside the pattern, which told you to redraw the pattern, right? Which I didn't, And you can see kind of it went sideways. And again, this didn't get stopped out. We never made the trade. I want to make that really clear because the alert would have told you not to. But then we did make a flag, and wow, this thing did eventually pump like crazy. That thing's been pumping for the last, for days now, defying gravity the entire month of January. So SHX, I believe this is stronghold, but maybe I'm wrong. Wow. Right under my nose, that thing is gone. Looks like it's got a use case the way it's building. Again, the 3-day a little away from the 21, so you look for the 3-day to consolidate and continue, which to me looks very likely. This thing is extremely bullish. And see, it pumped, but it didn't get... See, it pumped gradually with the 21-day moving average. That's what you're looking for. A little bit of bearish divvy, though, starting to form on that 3-day. It does look like you're going to go sideways for a while or possibly down. Something like this. You know, maybe even like that. We don't know. I would be taking some profits after a long pump like that. But, I mean, the daily says there could be some legs here. So let's think. One last thing is it's in a rising wedge. Remember, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm looking at probabilities all the time and attempting to make heads or tails of that. I mean, that's a breakout of a rising wedge that may continue. So you have to remind yourself the 3 days getting extended. There's also bearish divergence here as this, you know, this is likely going to break down. Probably come back down to the bottom of the channel. But Bitcoin's euphoric. There's a lot of euphoria in the air, and, you know. The risk taker in me tells me it's worth the risk to take one more shot at a pump. But at that point, if it does hit 380, got to know that you're very extended at this point. But there's a chance it does continue to pump. It's looking somewhat bullish. And I know I did say that this bearish div, it doesn't look amazing, but somehow defying the odds. Previous resistance was support there, and there's just a lot of momentum on this. So as much as I want to like be more responsible about the idea, I mean, it looks like there's one more pump coming at least. I could be wrong, but let's take a look at liquid LIQD. All right. LIQD, is that what you're saying here? Liquid holdings. Yeah, that's not coming up. Hold on, let me make sure it's what I'm looking at, because I'm... do you know Sugar Mine Pattern? Never heard of that, no. Aerodrome means airport in Greek. Amen. Yeah. OKLO, that's a stock looking for potential retest. OKLO, he says. MILTON on Soul. So we got SHX, LIQD, HNT, MIGGLES. Let's take a look at HNT and MIGGLES here. Let's look at HNT, which is Helium Mobile, right? I was never a fan of this token. I want to make that really clear. A lot of people were like, oh, I mean, it kind of tanked. Let's be honest. It had a nice run up. Is it going to bounce? Let's take a look at it on like KuCoin, because it's been on KuCoin a lot longer. It's got a bigger chart. So you can see here, I'm saying, well, it's getting tight. Could it make a break to the upside if it retested? Lost that channel when Bitcoin tanked and hasn't revisited yet, right? I mean, one thing you got is this trend line, but you almost broke it. See that? You got to get back above that trend line, number one. I don't know, man. It's a little sketchy. But if it can close a candle above the 4-day 200 MA, the daily, I'm not a fan. I think there's better out there. It definitely is oversold, though. If you believe in the project, if you really like it, you're not chasing green candles, right? You're buying the bottoms. And it does like to seem to bounce off this area and come right back to the top of the range. I don't know. It's oversold. The daily suggests you will get a pump. So it's like the odds are high. The falling wedge breaks to the upside. So, and you got this lower, slightly lower high to keep a stop right there, possibly. So yeah, but I just think there's better trades, but the odds are there. Chance it does do some damage here to the upside. All right. Let's take a look at MIGGLES, Mr. MIGGLES. Mr. MIGGLES on MEXC. Okay. Had a crazy pump, but still very overbought. I mean, I feel like it kind of broke out of this flag that it was in. But then I see this too. And I just see like see the stochastics are curving. There's a chance it holds this and flags out, but it's most likely going to come to the 21 and the 4 hour. And that, you know, so I would wait about 8 to 16 hours for a slight pullback. Now, if it breaks out, it could retest here. You really couldn't miss out either way. I do see it eventually going up. It's in an uptrend. And it defied the shoulder, head and shoulder, which is great. And it bounced off of a, you can clearly see a 786 fib right there. You can see it without even drawing it because you can just see how that's 78% of the move. And so, yeah, it looks bullish to me. It just, in my opinion, it's going to come back down to the bottom of the channel there, hit the 21-day moving average, bounce, let those stochastics kind of turn and twist and at least get a spin, and it'll get a bounce back to the upside. All right. Okay. I like what I'm seeing there. Let's take a look back at MILTON and OKLO. So now we got OKLO, which someone says is a stock. OKLO Inc. Looking for the retest, he says. So let's take a look. Cool, right off the bat. See, look at the shoulder. See how the stock market plays the same way? Inverted head and shoulder, right? You can almost say it was in this flag. It broke out, it retested and bounced. I see what you're saying. You're looking for the retest. They kind of missed that key area, though. First thing I do is look at what's going on in the bigger time frame. So look at what happened. When was this hop? When it broke above the daily 200 MA. You see? Now, that's got bearish div on the daily. That tells me to be careful. And then you got this like support and resistance level there and here. Same idea here. It looks like you're probably going to pull back a little bit. Let's take a look at your 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame still wants to pump to the upside. It's got legs, but hard to trade these with the gaps. Or no, they're just not the same as in crypto, right? It's in a beautiful uptrend. You can't take that away, but the daily did have bearish div. Yeah, and I see it consolidating, and I could be wrong. But I see it consolidating. Let's put an alert here, and we'll come back to this in a couple days and see if I was spot on or not. It looks like it's going to consolidate and then eventually pump. And the target takes it somewhere to about 69. And it's to get there, I don't know, by February 26th. So it's bullish. I'm bullish on this. It's in a beautiful uptrend. So far, we'll see. It did have some bearish div. We got to look at that, but MILTON on Sol. Rada MILTON. 7 million max. So this thing ripped, as you can clearly see, since the 25th. It was a winner for anyone. And people probably sold it off, and now look, it's making the symmetrical triangle. These fare a little better on altcoins than they do on the other coins because it basically represents a higher buy. Chance it does continue to pump. A little sketchy though, and it's very high risk. If you're really trying to be somewhat more cautious, I'd say if it ever does break back above, like look for the, you're looking for an inverted head and shoulder here. Let me like really zoom in there for you. I'm sorry. Being lazy. Don't be lazy, Sam. Always be thorough. After tons of super chats, you tend to like, but you can't. You gotta push through. The last super chat has to be even better than the first one, right? You gotta have as much energy as you had the first time. Love Harmony at the end of 2020. Buying back into it now. Really? Exactly. TradingView offers paper trading and demo trades. Yeah, you got a paper trade. Okay. Paper trade. Super chat liquid USDC on deck screener. Thank you for saying that. LIQD. Thank you for clarifying. $72 million market cap on Hyperliquid. Looks like you did find a gem here that's absolutely ripping. Again, we don't want to become exit liquidity to the earlier gang, but $72 million market cap. Especially on Hyperliquid, a lot of the coins I saw hit 200, 300 mil. I like this setup. Almost, I'd say 80% of the ascending triangles I find on these little coins pump. So the TA looks good. Does it mean it's going to pump for sure? No guarantees. A little bit of bearish divvy now. And it's been ripping for a while. I'd rather be in here and be selling right now. But it consolidated nice, so the next target would take it to 10 cents. Liquid launch. And, you know, Hyperliquid is hot. And it's making multiple higher lows. So, there you have it. Shout out to Love Learning. Shout out to After Hours Investing, Lakochi Coker. Paper Chase, yeah. Worth keeping an eye on. Liquid launch, right? Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, let's take a look at Vox on ETH, SUAI, and FNX on Sol. Funny, I found FNX yesterday, and I forgot to look at it again. Let's take a look at this thing. Oh, no. Is that really FNX like that? FINANX. I mean, that thing looks like it went to the tubes, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all set right now. I remember I thought there was a real project called FNXAI that was hot, but I guess not. Dude, Leia AI up 46% with the pump. Look at that. She pumped off that 7.8 right near the 786 Fibonacci. I mean, that's a money printer. That is what Master Friend goes over every day in the NASDAQ. You can trade it here too. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't end. So beautiful. Look at all the buys coming in for Leia. I do own a big old bag of Leia, but I like seeing Leia AI getting that pump back to the upside, baby. Leia is alive and well, man. Leia is alive and well. RAI getting a 30% pump today from the lows too. I still believe this is a great project. Colin getting a 23% pump. Finally, Colin and Leia both pumping off their 786 fibs. You see this? You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. And I don't care what the coin, it follows the TA, man. It doesn't matter if it's tiny, big, small. It does not matter. It follows the TA to a T. SUAI. SUI is quiet right now. It took a backseat for a second, but when SUI starts to rip again, and again, this could be a rugger, the way it came up and all the way back down again. It was hot, and now it's not. We'll see what happens. I own a little bit bag. I put while I was waiting to lose, and then possibly I'm done. But you know what? Let's take a look at, let me show you what happened to me. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to every coin. So just, but I just want to take you through a little story. And again, the people that sign off from this stream, man, they miss out on so much. I don't know where everyone's going at 8:30 through 11:30 over here. Out of nowhere, but we'll find out. We'll find out where you're going, and we'll make sure we plug that hole up. Let's take a look at Ava AI here. All right. So I just want to talk about it. Like, look, if you first got into this coin, it would have looked like this. So I first bought in here in November 15th, 16th. It had already ran up. I heard about it a little late. Of course, it was 0.3, and it did a 10x, 20x real fast, 100x, and those people took their money. Massive sell-off, came back in that wake, got tight, and I started to buy in. And I'm in, and then I'm up pretty fast. Like, I'm like, oh, this is a little flag here. And, the first thing, it's up. Then it starts to break down, and then it comes up, and then it's going sideways, and I'm kind of like, oh, it's flagging out, looks like it could maybe possibly, and then it did a bearish retest, and it started to flop some more, and then went all the way back to zero. So this looks like, whatever coin we just went over, SUAI, right? And then slowly but surely, I mean, it would go on a massive tear and get me all my money back times 10. I would end up 7xing and making massive gains. So, and again, it did make a massive head and shoulder. I would sell that top, because it was unsustainable, and I got in there like 30 million and it went to 300 mil. So it did a 10x. I got like a 7.5 out of it. So beautiful move. That's all I'm trying to say. And so, yes, some coins could be not now, some coins are done, but some coins could be doing that. We don't know which ones exactly, but we will find out. Yeah, this one looks like it went, I don't know what happened there, or if I'm getting the wrong coin. Yeah, I don't think, I think something, yeah, I think it was a poll. I think it was a rugger, man. Yeah, right. Funny, people, like, they think when a coin gets rugged, they're like, don't you know, like, Anyway, don't be amazed. If you're trading deck screener, you gotta, it's not the same. For me, it's way different than when I'm on a sex, like swinging a coin with a real market cap. Like, the odds that you could lose it all on deck screener are high, you know, it's there. So, again, we stay inside the symmetrical triangle. Only time will tell. The curving 21's not my favorite. I like it when it curves the other way. As I showed you, these mainly dump to the downside. Does that mean it's going to happen for sure? No. If the Stokes can reset, there's a chance we get gains here. 1 minute also getting very tight. 1 minute almost looks tighter. And it's staying above the 200 MA. Chance this creates the massive pump. And we start ripping today. And we get the daily close above 106. The highest daily candle close in the history of Bitcoin. Today could be an historic day for Bitcoin. Don't you understand? All right. Sam, what can I use in the UK for trading on? I would use MEXC if you could, or Weeks. Also, you know, I don't know. Whatever works there, you know. MEXC and Weeks are what I'm using. They work amazing. You can't beat MEXC. It is the least amount of fees of any trading, exchange in the game. Fast liquidity. They get the most coins. And Weeks is great for leverage trading. Weeks is a big, you know. ACH. Yeah, let's take a look at ACH USDT. So Alchemy Pay went on an absolute tear. People were yelling at me, Alchemy Pay, it's ripping, it's ripping. And again, this is what I do. I make a flag out of everything. So if you went back in time here, and I just fell on this coin, I don't know what you would see. I know exactly what I would see though. So the first thing I would look at is I would draw my top trend line. Draw my second one. What I've been playing with this idea too, I mean, it's so sloppy, but like, it's kind of a head and shoulder, but it's like, you know, it's not really. Only to the seasoned mind after years of doing it, but even then, it's like, eh. But then you got this beautiful flag here too that suggests it could break out. It's how I trade. I just see things, you know, and then low stochastic, lack of bearish momentum in the MACD, and you're at a high volume node. If you can get those four things, you have high probability of winning that trade, right? And then bang, there you go, right? To the upside. Oh, it's interesting. I never did that. So look. So you put a buy in right now. Right? That's so funny. Open. I won again? Pretty cool though, right? You see how that does that? And that's how I would have figured that out. It's also as crazy as it sounds, but it's not that crazy. But it's a bit of a cup and handle here, okay? And the cup and handles break where? To the upside, baby. To the upside for BTC. So bang, bang, bang for more gains. Ooh. Now, when I'm in a live trade, we could be in a live trade the entire time we're here. So, bang. So now Alchemy Pay. So I just wanted to take you through like how I would look at it. So now what? Well, I mean, the fun happened, right? It's been on a tear. It's been on a tear since the 26th on Sunday. Go to your daily, like we talk about. And I mean, look how far it is. And there was a cup and handle. We're looking for all the legacy coins to do this. You're looking for, you're looking for Polkadot to do, you're looking for every single coin that's in like the top 100 from last cycle that's in a cup and handle to rip. Now you're away from the 21 day, you would start setting your support and resistance, but you're very far away from the 21. See, that was an impulse there, so a fib likely could come back down to that. And then you're looking at the 21-day moving average. Now, maybe you continue to rip. You can flag out your smaller time frames, but I would just be wary of that daily. Be really cool, though, if you start to use this as your next line of support. But again, it's likely you're going to be pulling back right now. I would be taking profits. There's bearish div there. And maybe I'm wrong and continues to rip. But I don't, I wouldn't be in on that. Someone's asking about Vox on ETH. Neurovox. I mean, that looks bullish to me. Like right off the bat, I can see how that looks like it's going to moon, I could be wrong, but these coins, whenever they get that momentum in them and kind of defy the head and shoulder, see a shoulder, head, right shoulder, rip. I don't know. That thing looks like it's going to pump. I could be wrong. I know nothing but the fact about ignorance, and I don't own this coin. I know nothing about it, but that's targeted success. Something's going on with it. Seems they got a good buzz. Very small market cap. Looks like it may go from $3 to $6 million market cap today. You never know, though. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's take a look at BTC and see what's happening to Bitcoin as we're about to kind of cash out on the day here. So Bitcoin, as we sit here, stays inside of a symmetrical triangle, which mainly break down. And so throughout the entire stream, we've been sideways. I told you Thursdays were tight. I even mentioned it to my trading group. We already kind of sold some of the local top, got a little bit of that bump up. I got to be honest, it does look like this will get a bit of a pullback. Not the worst in the world. If that starts to pull back, remember our bigger idea is that the daily has to move back down to the bottom of the channel. Let me just show you on a bigger, because I didn't want to get rid of what I had there. But so just don't be freaked out. Take a deep breath, realize kind of what's happening on the daily time frame. That's why I like having multiple screens. I got my daily open, the 1 minute. And so here, this is what we're looking at here. And there is a chance that, we hit resistance and we roll over a bit. Chance we roll over and this thing dumps. This could go either way. All right. I'm more bullish. I mean, I showed you why. And again, but we got to stay above this level. Very important that we stay above 102. And I'd love a close at 106 on the highest candle close in the history of the daily if we can just get above 106,250. All right. If anyone lost in a trade, be happy you didn't lose your life. Lifer, can we please have a 20-second of silence for the 60 passengers who died last night on American Flight 5342? Yeah, man, something strange happened, right? A flight got hit by a military helicopter or something? Who was on that flight is really what makes me wonder. But let's take a moment of silence for the American and people, the 60 passengers that were lost on that flight. Dear Lord, we don't know why you take the people from us and in the manner in which you do. But what I can pray for and what I would always ask is that no matter how bad the tragedy or how hard the loss, that it brings us closer to God and not further away. Amen. When my mother died, I found my way closer to God, and it brought me a peace and inner sense that I had never found in my life. I'd never had to go that deep because I'd never suffered so much pain. I was still dealing with the death of my dad, who had just priorly had a sudden heart attack just 7 months prior and died out of nowhere. My mom would have a stroke on Thanksgiving a year and some odd months ago while she was speaking to the family outside on a patio. We rented an Airbnb. For 5 days, she sat in a coma, and I watched her lifeless body. And, instead of cursing God's name, instead of getting upset, instead of not showing up, instead of getting pissed, I found a deep connection to God. I found a strength to keep moving. And I found the ability to never stop loving all the people and the great things in my life. My mother was a great person. She lived in love. Everything she did was in love. She loved me with so much love you wouldn't believe the connection me and her had. We were the closest probably a son and a mother could get in many ways. And she would never want me to stop loving others. She would never want me to stop pushing myself to the limit. And she always believed in me. So with that being said, I feel horrible for the people that lost their lives. And it hurts deep inside whenever I know of anyone's loss, because I think of my loss the last few years, and it hasn't been easy. But the key about this is we keep our deep connection to God, and we keep ourselves strong, and we show others that we can do it, and that we too have a purpose in life, and that purpose is to show others that we can push through the hardest times, and so can they. You inspire others when you push yourself through the hardest times of your life. All right. And if you can do it on a public scale, even better. I mean, not everybody has to do it the way I did it. I get it. I don't want, no comparisons here, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. See how that doesn't want to show up? It doesn't want to show the contract address. It's got a B&B address. Yeah, this thing looks like something happened, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's do it one more time. And maybe just the contracts are just confused. But it won't show up on Deck Screener for whatever reason. I don't know what's happening here, buddy. With FNXAI, I don't. Looks like it's gone, but I could be wrong. I don't know, man. I mentioned finding it yesterday, and I thought it was interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Look, the pairs, I don't know, Go Plus flagged this token as a honeypot. See? Yeah, I think you're honeypotting us, man. Just be careful, bro. All right. Let's take a look at the popular searches today. Xterio, I keep talking about it. It's probably going to be the next one that goes on a tear. SUAI back above 4. You got to love that. And we're back in the money on SUAI. Ondo ripping up 15% in the last week, really, with that tokenization. Larry Fink, that's coming. Grass, eventually we'll probably have another run. Virtual back above $2. I really think that's a steal to buy anytime it goes below 2. I really don't think the Virtuals ecosystem is done. I think that's kind of silly to think. Virtuals is moving to Solana too. It's going to be multiple chain. There's a lot coming. That's going to pump Solana's price and Virtual. Look for them to rip together in my firm, and that's a prediction I'm giving you. King, everyone else in fear. I see opportunity. Ethereum, official Trump. These are the most visited coins in the last 7 days. So people still looking at Trump coin, Ondo Finance, Anime coin, Creator Build, DeepSync actually does have a coin now. I thought that was fake on Sol. I guess it is fake, but I wouldn't think it had anything to do with the real DeepSync. Yeah, I'd be careful. It looked like it could rip. Now it turned to nothing. So, yeah. Just because it was the most visited coin doesn't mean it's hot. Remember that. Let's go to CoinMarketCap and take a look here and see what's happening for CoinMarketCap in the last hour. All right. And you have Dexy, Jasmy Coin, Airweave, SPX 6900, Flare, Hyperliquid, Dog with Hat, Bip Tensor, Celestia, back above $1. I tell you, the market's great when Celestia is above $1. It's like this, it's this bellwether. Hyperliquid looking hot. There's a lot of coins out here that are getting back above their key levels, starting to kind of sit pretty. Hyperliquid, something you want to trade. It has good liquidity. It's held above $2, $20 no matter what. It's likely going to rip to 50. You know what I'm saying? These are some obvious plays that I can see because they're just holding liquidity, period. That's it. Jupe just got a big burn, and it's finally kind of getting itself out of a key level. It's up 42% in the last 7 days. I mean, not many coins can compete with that. Onyx coin had that rip. We went over that already. We already have a setup for Ohm in the trading group. We have a setup for BitTensor in the trading group. All right. I have a setup for Move in the trading group. We got into Jasmy. I talked about Jitto when it first came out back in the day. I'm a big holder of Ondo. We're talking about hype. Man, we got it. I'm going to lock in the throughout this afternoon. We're going to hang out tonight for the weekly screen share. Sorry. I don't know why that did that. Let's go. Oh, that's why my light went on the right side today. Let me see if it's back. Yeah, every once in a while, these lights just decide to go out. See? And that right light, I need it to hit the screen the right way. And no idea why today. Something to do with like how I use my pool or something. Anyway, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm having fun all the time showing. You might see, me hanging in the pool with my kids. I don't show their faces, but you'll see my life, a little bit of behind the scenes, things I'm talking about, some jokes, ideas. There's me and Jerome Powell hanging out. You know what I mean? So everybody, I love you. I thank you so much. May God bless everybody that came to the stream. Shout out to the awesome viewership that we had today. Blessings on blessings to be alive. $1,185, $167 in chat revenue. Right? Yeah. So we love you all. We appreciate you. And we can't wait to see each and every one of you tomorrow. All right. Look out for the weekly screen share link coming out tonight at 8:15 on Zoom. Sometimes I'm a little late, 8:15 to 8:30. It always takes me a second to get settled on Thursday night. But once we start cooking, we start cooking. It does get recorded, so it's there for you. All right. And shout out to everyone that supported me through all my ups and downs. I'm a human being too. And you guys have been amazing. Guys and gals, ladies and gents, and all the lifers and lifettes, all the giga chadettes out there. Shout out to Superman. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next flip side. And remember, you know what the secret to success is, right? There's one key secret to success that I can give you right now. It's the number one secret to success. You want to know what it is? It's amazing. It's getting started.